When the 7th generation Golf GTI was launched, it was an instant success, with a lot of people, us included, saying it is the best GTI ever. And what made it so good is that it is a phenomenal drive, no matter how you choose to drive it. So I am a little concerned that Volkswagen have decided to mess with the recipe. This is the Golf GTI Performance Pack. Now, when you hear that name, you might immediately think, as I did, that the power has been upped significantly, that maybe there's a new exhaust system and bigger brakes, together with some plastic bits to differentiate it from the common or garden variety GTI. And if you did think that, you'd be wrong, as I was. It's not that the name is a complete misnomer, it's just the changes aren't that dramatic. It's still got a 2-litre turbo motor, but power's been upped by 7 kilowatts, so the total is now 169. But the torque is the same at 350 Newton meters, the exhaust system is the same, and the only extra plastic bits it gets are 2 badges. So be warned, all you traffic light dragsters, if you pull up next to one of these red GTI badges are the only signs you've got a whole 7 extra kilowatts to deal with. The rest of the package is plain old magnificent GTI. VW has melted elements of the original GTI with this version, the red strip in the grille, the black rear window surround. At the same time though, they've also managed to make it clean and sharp with loads of attitude and with as much style as anything else in its class. On the one hand, I was a little disappointed with the tiny changes made to the GTI with the addition of the Performance Pack, but after some careful meditation on the issue, I came to realize it was probably in the best interests of everyone. It's certainly in Volkswagen's interest, because any more power in here and they'd be approaching the output of the Golf R, and that might do them out of some sales. As for the driving public at large, well, the slight upward tweak in power means that they're less likely to upset what is a very good package. The reason the standard GTI is so loved is because it has almost perfect balance. If you need a car that's comfortable, has a bit of space and more than a bit of style that you want to use every day, it has all of those things. And that if you want something that can offer an involving drive with power and great handling, it can do that too. That's the other area the Performance Pack is concentrated on. Exclusive to this model is a re-engineered front electronic diff which improves handling over the standard GTI by being able to do things like send 100% of the torque to one front wheel if necessary. That means no loss in power and quicker cornering. Torque steer is non-existent, and the way you can boot this car out of a corner, even by jumping on the throttle way earlier than you'd think you might be able to, is fantastic. Of course, ESP is still there to help out if you act like a complete buffoon, but it also has a sport mode, which allows a level of slippiness without fear of incurring an insurance claim. Then there are the other bits of kit like the dynamic chassis control. In the standard GTI, it's a 12,000 Rand option. In this car, it's part of the asking price, and it allows you to selectively adjust the dampers to make things harder or more comfortable. And then there's the choice of gearbox, which probably won't please the purists. VW only offer this GTI with the DSG dual clutch. It's still one of the best of its kind, but it also takes away the joy of a good old manual gearbox. The Performance Pack isn't a massive step up from the standard GTI, but that doesn't mean it's not worth it. Instead of going over the top and ruining what is a brilliant package, Volkswagen have rather concentrated on the best bits. So by giving it handling that's just a bit sharper and adding a little bit more power, they've distilled the performance of the GTI, and it's now even more entertaining. At the same time, they've completely ignored the interior, so there are no gimmicky carbon fiber bits and ludicrously buckety seats. Just the same comfortable, well-spec'd setup with its slick touchscreen interface and a general sense of well-being. Climate control, Bluetooth, USB and cruise control are also part of the package. That price also includes a 0 to 100 time that's just 0.1 second quicker and a top speed that's 4 km an hour higher than the standard GTI DSG. So that then raises the question, is it really worth it? Well, it's just as good looking, it's just as comfortable. It has more power, better handling and improved engineering. So the 20,000 Rand doesn't buy you some nice extra bits, it buys you a better GTI. The performance pack adds 7 kilowatts to the GTI's output, while the torque figure remains unchanged. The 6-speed DSG dual clutch is the only gearbox option. The interior remains unchanged and the styling gets nothing except new badges. But more power, improved handling and dynamic chassis control as part of the package makes it worth the extra money.